there's been an average decrease of about 22% in the amount of transactions that are going on in a given Secretary of State office. In the Frankenmuth office, there's been an 11% increase in the amount of transactions. So that's been an office that has been successful, and it's been cost effective. And when you talk about closing that office and that consolidation of that office with another in another part of Saginaw, well, first of all, that Frankenmuth office was supposed to be the recipient of people from another county, Vassar, when that office was closed 3 or 4 years ago. So the Vassar people were supposed to come on over to the Frankenmuth office, and now that office, if it's going to be closed, they're supposed to go over to the Saginaw Northeast office, which is 20 miles away, a half an hour back and forth each way. Well, there's 60,000 transactions a year that go on in the Frankenmuth office. The savings for closing that is supposed to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $38,000. That means it's about 80 cents saving per transaction at the cost of disempowering the people from Frankenmuth and from Vassar and making them drive 30 minutes one way over to the office in Saginaw Township, which doesn't have enough parking to start with, and then a half an hour back. So I think they could have done that one a little bit better, and I look forward to talking to the Secretary of State about that. There are other options that she could have chosen, and hopefully we can get her to see it our way.
Well, we will hope you're successful in that venture as it moves forward. Another area we'd like to see some improvement on, as we focus on healthcare issues, you've been in the forefront of trying to reduce Medicaid fraud.
Yeah,
and have some legislation on that.
Oh, we do.
Can you give us a little background on what your overall goals are, and then how your specific legislation would get in there and make those improvements?
Well, it's been researched by the Attorney General, Mike Cox, across the state on just exactly how much waste, fraud, and neglect, if you will, there is within the Medicaid system. Now, that's a lot of expenditures for our people. We're spending over $10 billion a year of state and federal matching money on Medicaid. In other states that have had a separate attorney general, a Medicaid attorney general, they've had savings of up to 10%. That's a lot of money if we would have that kind of savings. Let's say it's only 1%, that's $100 million. Looking at doing that was the focus of a bill that I introduced. Hopefully it's going to get a hearing pretty soon. And if we have an independent person focused directly on Medicaid, not sharing that with a lot of other duties, and empower them with the rights of subpoena, and give them every opportunity to depose and work with directly the people at the Department of Community Health, we can be successful. This individual could be appointed directly by the governor, could be appointed, I suppose, by the legislature. Our proposal is to let the governor appoint that person. But the important thing is their focus and their independence and the ability to create a substantial amount of savings for our people in a time when, just like with the drug website, we need to find efficiencies, this too would do it.
And then the numbers are there. According to the Attorney General's office here in Michigan, he has a Medicaid fraud control unit, it's already recovered a record $143 million since he took office.
Yes, it is.
We're talking about some real savings
here. Yes, we are.
And go ahead.
That savings that he's had is with a dependent Medicaid investigative unit, not with one that is totally independent and focused. So with the savings that he's had, which I think are more than the last two attorney generals put together, by the way, with a independent focus, the amount of savings that we could have are even more than that the attorney general believes.
I mean, a similar office that, like what you're talking about, that was established in New York, has saved $550 million since 2008, and other big states have started going to this approach. Texas, Illinois, Florida, some really major.
So we're not
states.
unique in wanting to look at this. This is a good idea that has been brought forward, and I hope that we can get it done. Look, if we're going to have problems with revenue in the state of Michigan for the foreseeable future, and I think it's reasonable to say that's going to be the case with the auto industry restructuring, for example, then we need to, in particular, be looking at ways that we're going to use the revenues that we have most efficiently for the needs of our people. Whether we're talking about education things, or we're talking about making sure that there isn't a misuse of our people's money when it's in the public sector, or whether it's inventive new ideas, policy ideas, like how we're going to be doing oil and gas drilling, which all offer us the opportunity to create jobs and bring revenues, royalties to the state of Michigan if you're drilling on public lands, for example. All those things need to be within the mix of what our government has to be doing. Those things save money, other things will create money, some things will allow our people to be more successful. They all have to be part of the mix, and they really need attention now.
And this proposed Office of Medicaid Inspector General
Yes.
has already generated some bicameral support. This is a plan that's been introduced in both the House and the Senate.
Yes, it has. It's Representative Janetsky in the House has another bill that will work together with ours.
Is the hope that perhaps at the beginning of 2010 this might be able to get a hearing? Get some
it may
movement?
get a hearing in the Senate even before 2010.
Okay.
There might be a December hearing for that in the Health Policy Committee chaired by Senator Tom George. I'm looking forward to that and talking about it, because it's an idea I think has some legs.
And with so many other states grabbing onto it, it just seems like a real trend, and Michigan would be foolish not to get in on it.
Yeah, that is indeed the case. And there may be some incentives that come even from the federal government to do something of this nature.
Well, thank you very much, Senator Kahn. It's been a joy talking to you about the budget that we've just been through and some of the issues that are facing us in the months ahead. And we'd like to thank all of you for watching us. Thank you for joining the Capitol Report, and we'll be on again soon. Thanks so much.